Okay, for my first prop out of the chute, I decided to go with a tabletop sconce. Now, I got the inspiration from Merlin over at HauntersHangout.com. He's got the wall sconces. The corpse hand wall sconces are so cool, and I just thought it'd be really neat if we could put that in the center of a table, and I came up with this. Okay, boils and ghouls, this is everything you're going to need to make this prop. First, we've got a 1x6 piece of wood. That's going to be our base. Then a length of PVC pipe. I cut this about 10 inches. It's 1 inch in diameter. It's schedule 40. I don't think that's going to matter. Then you're going to need something to anchor your PVC pipe to your base. I got these little angles from Home Depot. I don't know if you can see those, but you could probably get away with using hot glue or duct tape because you're not going to put a lot of pressure on this. Heavy gauge craft wire. These are going to be your fingers, so you need something that's going to bend but heavy enough to hold its shape and hold a little bit of weight. A drill with a drill bit big enough to make holes for your craft wire. Paintbrushes. Something to cut your craft wire with. Needle nose pliers. The old Haunters standby duct tape. Latex. Or paper mache, whatever route you want to go. Cotton balls. And a PVC candle. Now, I'm not going to show you how to make these. There's a lot of tutorials on YouTube of how to do these. Go to Chris Baker's Hauntcast page. He's got a pretty succinct description of how these are made, but it's just PVC pipe, hot glue, and a flicker candle. And that's everything you're going to need. So, on with the build. Roll the disclaimer.
Good evening. Dr. Creepy would like to present to you just a word of friendly warning. He gives absolutely no guarantee of any information provided. And if you attempt any of these ridiculous projects on your own, do so at your own risk. Happy hauntings.
Okay, here's a few things that you're going to need to start this with. A piece of 1x wood. I used 1x6. I cut it down to about 5.5 inches. Piece of PVC pipe. This is 1 inch schedule 40. Of course, it doesn't have to be 1 inch schedule 40. It's whatever you have laying around. I cut it to about 10 inches in length. You cut it to whatever you want your, however high you want your hand to stand. After you cut it, you take and you mark your fingers out. I started with my thumb way down here. I used my hand for a reference. I started with my thumb way down here. Then your fingers, 1, 2, 3, 4. After you've gotten everything marked, take your drill, take a drill bit just about as big as your craft wire, and start drilling them holes. Okay, once your holes are drilled, take your craft wire. You're going to cut your craft wire to different lengths. Now, it all depends on how long you want your fingers to be, how bony. I just kind of guessed when I did this. I started with this would be my thumb piece. This is going to be the longest piece because it's going to wrap the furthest around the pipe. And just like in a corpse hand tutorial, you're going to take your needle nose pliers and you're going to bend a little Z shape right at the end of the craft wire. Just like that. Once you've done that, you do that for all 5 of your fingers. Like I said, cut your craft wire into different lengths to match up with your fingers. You want to go way down here in your length. You don't want to cut them here because then they won't be near long enough. Then you're going to insert, we'll start with the thumb, you're going to insert your craft wire into the hole like that. See how it fits in there? That just kind of keeps it from falling out. Then you take either hot glue or duct tape or whatever you have lying around and secure these, all of your fingers, to your PVC pipe. Kind of like I did here. The thumb's secured with, I think I used hot glue and tape on this. So I secured the thumb, the fingers, the middle finger, ring finger, and pinky. this is what you're going to want to end up with. Something like this. You want it to kind of look like it's holding something. And hopefully, if it works out right, it's going to look like it's holding your PVC candle. But we'll get to that later. I don't want to get ahead of myself. Okay, once you've done that, I went ahead and I started bulking out the fingers with masking tape and I think newspaper and tissue paper, whatever I had lying around, just to give these fingers a little bit of girth to them when I start corpsing them. Now, of course, you can use whatever you want. I started experimenting my time off making corpses, and I started with dowel, wooden dowel here, and it was taking too much time, so I just moved on to using paper and newspaper and paper towels. So anyway, that's what you want it to look like before you start corpsing. Just roughly a skeletal hand holding a PVC candle. And hopefully that's what it's going to look like in the end. Once you've gotten that far, start corpsing. Okay, now your latex is dry. You should end up with something that looks like this. Looks like a hand gripping a large candle, or gripping something. Get your mind out of the gutters. Now I'm going to coat everything with black flat latex paint. The only reason I use black is it seems to cover everything, and when it dries, I can really tell if I missed a spot or not. So, here we go. Okay, once that's dry, you guys can start your detail painting. I like to use some browns and some siennas, a little bit blue, yellow, green. Anything to just give that kind of rotted, decayed look. And that's all there is to it. You follow those instructions and you have a wonderful tabletop corpse hand sconce. All I did was put a little bit of hot glue in there to hold the candle to the hand. Put your little LED candle in there and it looks magnificent. I'm going to go see if the missus will let me keep this on the table year round. Probably not going to fly. That's all for now, folks. Until next time, this is Dr. Creepy saying, stay twisted and sleep with the lights on.